It's not. It's a topic that needs to be.
You're like a freak. So. That's not. That's
So,
not when you're on the ceiling.
no, babe, no.
Hey, what's going on, world? This is Rick.
This is Deb.
This is LMC Talk, where we talk about love, marriage, and of course, everything can be discussed over a great cup of coffee.
That's right.
See that? That's it. That's an LMC love right there. Thank you, Sheila. Shout out to Sheila and Marcus. You already know, all right?
The Waldens, yes.
The Waldens. Hey, what's going on? We wanted to talk about a couple.
But we're
things
back
today.
though. Like you just gonna roll over that?
I know that we're back, but I was trying to get right into it. But
now we back, dog.
let's acknowledge the fact that we're back because we've been off for a little bit and we wanted to come back. I know y'all love us, y'all miss us, you know what I mean? So, we just gotta come back in the room, you know what I mean? Get it going.
In the building.
We got some really cool stuff to talk about too. But we're gonna start off like we always do with a tidbit. So let's start off with that.
All right. So I have two tidbits. I could not choose, so I want to talk about both. All right. Now, according to one study, approximately 15% of married couples are sexless. You heard that right?
Sexless.
Yes. Spouses.
Wait. How much percent?
15% of married couples are sexless.
15%. Okay, got it. Wait, what?
All right. According to one study, approximately 15% of married couples are sexless.
15%.
15%. Spouses haven't.
15% is sexless.
Sexless.
Okay.
Spouses haven't had sex with each other in the past 6 months to 1 year.
Say what now?
Yes.
No, wait. You sure you should? Wait. You say 6 months to 1 year?
Yeah. They haven't had any sex, and that's a study. Then we have another one here that says, according to the 2018 General Social Surveys data, on about 660 married people who shared details about how often they had sex in the past year, 25% had sex once a week. 16% had sex 2 to 3 times per week, and 5% had sex 4 or more times per week. 5%.
Okay, all right. So, that's not bad because I'm figuring that people who are in relationships for a long while, after a while, it's like, maybe I would say 2 to 3 times for the week would be fine with me. You know what I mean? Hint, hint. But I'm just saying, But I know that sometimes because we have really busy lives, we just tired. So it's like a lot of times we just end up like maybe once per week sometimes, But that's probably normal after years of being together.
But okay, I want to ask questions, but let's get into some things
so
before
let's talk
we get
about the topic
there
then.
because I have some questions about what you just said.
All right,
but
so let's get into the topic then.
All right.
What is the topic for today?
All right, when couples outgrow sex.
That's a thing? Okay, I guess.
I guess it's a thing.
Outgrow sex?
Listen,
how you gonna outgrow
I
sex?
saw this on the internet. And I thought this was very interesting because it's the outgrow for me, right? Like weird.
It's kind of weird.
All right, so I guess it's a guy writing this actually. He said he woke up in the middle of the night and found his wife sleeping next to him in bed. He looked at her. She looked peaceful. Yesterday they didn't make love despite them sleeping naked, but it is not a big deal. It's not that he doesn't find her sexy. It's just that they've outgrown sex. They've reached.
I don't like that word, but okay, keep going.
They've reached that place in their marriage where sex is not a must-have each night. They have reached a deeper level of intimacy. A deeper level of intimacy where just holding each other close as their skin touches. Yes, they have graduated from the pleasure of the body to pleasure of the soul. Right? I'm gonna skip through some of this. He thought of the many men out there who are destroying their own marriages, chasing after sex with other women. The world has billions of women, and that means billions of butts and boobs, etc. There's something higher than orgasms at any cost. There is love. There's an unspeakable joy that comes with knowing you're faithful to your spouse. There's indescribable pleasure that comes with not just making sweet love to your spouse, but also being faithful to your spouse. He looked at his beautiful wife sleeping and thought she is more than a sexy body. She is his wife, his companion, his best friend, his confidant, his prayer partner, his co-worshiper, his queen. And lastly, A healthy sex life doesn't mean that sex must happen every day, every time, but that sex is part of intimacy and a blessing through faithfulness. That sex is something that comes with no pressure, something peaceful. There is so much to love beyond sex. Love your spouse through sex and beyond sex.
Okay. All right, so I agree with some of the stuff. I don't like the first part. Like, if we read the first part again, it just says they outgrew. You don't have to read it, but I'm just saying.
It's not that he doesn't find her sexy. It's just that they've
outgrown sex. That to me is like, I don't know. Okay. Even a lot of relationships start off with good sex, to be completely honest. And sometimes it goes beyond that. It's not supposed to be this way, but it is what it is, right? So a lot of times people start off with having good sex and then find out that they have other things in common and everything else, and it kind of goes with that. And then once years pass, and then the couple is like, well, we started off with sex, and now we're not having sex.
Well, if we start out with sex and we're not having sex, you the homie. We could just be friends.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
a little weird to me.
If you're saying you've outgrown sex, that means we've outgrown each other, because that's a part of our marriage. Because, for real though, without sex, you the homie. You just a friend.
No, but okay, but they are saying that there's other things that they can do other than sex, something that can be a little bit more spiritual, or maybe with the souls being connected and everything else. But I still believe that physical intimacy is.
But you do
totally
still need sex on the side. We can add on the plate. All those things are nice, but sex still needs to be on that plate. Where does that physical connection come from?
All right, let me ask you that. When you said the plate thing, you think the sex should be the main course, and then everything else should be smaller items on that plate, or you think it's vice versa?
That's a good question. Go ahead.
Because I'm saying the big portion of it is that the main thing, and then we have all these things, because you can do a lot of pleasurable things.
But that's subjective though. I mean, is it the main thing on our plate, or is it the main thing on anybody? It could be the main thing on somebody else's plate. Whatever you choose in your marriage to be the main thing on the plate, let that be the main thing on the plate. All I'm saying is sex can't be off that plate.
Because a woman could be like, hey, well, finances and being protected is the first on my plate. I know sex is way down at the bottom at number 9 out of 10.
And then also, wherever it is, whether it's sex, finances, whatever it is, you both have to agree where it falls. Because sex can't be the main thing on your plate, and sex is just the side for me.
But that happens all the time.
But we both have to agree, because even for you and I,
physically with me and you, I want sex more than you.
You have a bigger appetite, correct?
I got a bigger appetite than you.
Yeah.
But but where is it on the list of what you want? You know what I mean?
Priority for me?
Yeah. Let's say 1 to 10 of things. We got the children and all that stuff, but don't worry about that part.
3.
Where do you think maybe number 3? Okay.
3. It's about 3 for me.
All right, but I noticed
for you?
That's the thing. I noticed that mine is not as, I would say, sharp and keen at number one. When I started out, that's what it was. But now that time has passed, I realize that there's other things that can be a lot, more intimate.
So tell me some of the other things that are more important, because it was very important to you in the beginning.
No, only because we have kids now, so obviously the kids are more important than.
Yeah, but our kids are grown,
they're still, you know what I mean. But I'm saying, I still think it's a major part of a relationship.
But why did that change for you? I'm curious.
I think it's first up, I'm tired.
You old? You getting old?
I wouldn't use that word. I'm just saying I'm tired, so I'm working a lot. And once time is passing and you're doing all these different things, you realize that at the end of the day, you just want to go to sleep. And then when you do find time to do that, if it's end up being once or twice per week, I think that's normal for maybe couples that's been together over 10 years. To me, once or twice per week, I think is kind of normal. You know what I mean? To me. And I think the percentage on that was a little bit different.
So as the relationship grows, sex goes lower on the list and companionship goes up a little more. So it's kind of what you're saying. A little bit?
It kind of does, because I don't mind now. One time I couldn't. I'm like, why? Why do we need to go to a restaurant, dress up, and then do the ice cream afterwards, and do the walk in the park, and then come home and have sex? we'd be like, we're already home. Let's just have sex.
But then you also got to remember is that to a woman you have to make love from our brain, our mind. Yeah. So
for her to be turned on.
So the walk in the park and the ice cream is you making love to our mind first, because without that ain't nothing happening.
After a while, I realized, after a while of me doing that for many years now, it feels now that if we're not doing that, it doesn't feel as great at the end. It's like that's the reward of a beautiful night or a beautiful day. Not that it's going to be like that all the time.
Which it's not. You know,
sometimes
but
the early morning is good too, you know what I mean? But
that boom bam pow.
Bow, you know what I mean? If we
Take
now
that.
Okay. But getting sidetracked, man.
Sorry.
No, okay. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so now I'm saying like the whole thing of making our way to it, it still gives you an anticipation of it, and I think it's still really nice that way. But again, I'm a guy. Sometimes I just want it real quick. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I mean, girls do too. It's not just a guy thing. I think it just depends. Sometimes you know a quickie is good, but it can't. What they're saying is that it can't be outgrown. It's like I outgrow cartoons because I'm not a child anymore. I mean, some people still watch cartoons. When you say outgrow, it's like
that's a weird word.
It's a weird
like
word.
The word outgrow, because it feels as though it's no longer your priority. I can see that part, but it even sounds like you're kind of taking it off the plate.
Right, and you're saying you also outgrew me.
Because your body is a part of you,
right?
And this is one of the reasons why we hooked up to begin with, because we liked each other and our bodies.
I would feel some kind of way if you're no longer attracted to me. If one day you come to me, even if my appetite is not as big as yours, if one day you come to me and say, "Babe, I love you and we can do everything else, but I've outgrown sex with you,"
can you imagine that?
I would feel, oh my God,
that's
it's
that's
given.
I'm
packing my bags. I'm gone.
That's
humiliation.
Because remember, we was watching a show the other day, and the lady asked the guy, "Is like, are you no longer sexually attracted to your wife?" And he said, "No." And I'm like, "But they're still together. They've been together like many, many years, and they're still together till this day." But just to hear that was like really kind of cringy. You know what I mean? For your husband to say he's no longer sexually attracted.
Or vice versa. If I was to say that, it's like you're thinking, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To say I've outgrown it. So it's like,
what's going to happen when you find somebody else? What, are you going to start over with the process?
No, but they're saying they're not starting over. They are together. So you're saying you're great in every area besides sex. I'm good with finances. I'm good with everything else with you. I can watch you sleep and look at you because you look beautiful. I just don't want to touch you. I just don't want to have sex with you.
I think the sexual part is a deeper connection sometimes than just the whole things that's around it. So, and it leads up to that sexual pleasure at the end. I believe the sexual part shows a different meaning. That means to me, just like what you said, talk about roommates, you can do everything else with everybody else basically. But the sex part, you know what I mean, is a totally different thing. That's a different type of intimacy that you have with your spouse.
And let's break this down here before we even close off the topic. We tend to act like sex is a taboo topic, right?
Yeah.
But it's so important. It's super, super important in a marriage, because a lot of relationships, a lot of marriages, they break up because you don't have sexy time. You don't want to talk about sexy time with other couples because you think it's such a taboo thing. If you're married, sex is not a taboo topic.
No.
It's something to be discussed.
Even the Bible literally says that.
The bed is undefiled.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, God. It's undefiled.
Yeah.
You know, and we can determine what undefiled means to each person, right?
Exactly.
But it's not, it's a topic that needs to be.
You're like a freak. So I'm not supposed
That's between me and God, like.
Oh, I thought
we said we were gonna keep it real, but this season, but not this real. Like, pull back.
No, I'm talking about when you're on the ceiling.
No, babe, no. But that it's not a. It's a topic to be discussed. It's nothing wrong with talking about it, especially you're married. It's something I think if some couples would actually talk about it in the right, setting, of course, we could probably help each other. Some of y'all need help. Some of y'all need help in this department. But we're not going to talk about that, but some of y'all need help. So we're here to help you. This season, we're going to help y'all on some things, and this is one of them things. Ain't nothing wrong with doing what needs to be done in the bed with your husband, with your wife.
I think this is going to end up being another topic for part 2 of this. It's going to get crazy.
Yeah, because it's nothing wrong with it. So we should keep that in mind, y'all. So we are planning to talk a lot more about certain things that are considered taboo, right?
Yeah,
and this is one of them.
So talk about it.
We coming out the gate.
All right. So what's the moral of the story? Moral of the story is
have sex as much as you want to.
Yes.
1 time a week is not enough, but 2 and up, I think we're 2
That's
and up.
kind of where it is, right?
2 and up,
maybe about 2
depending
and up.
on where you are in your marriage. Yeah. Hey, if you're 10 years, 15 years in your marriage, and you can still, you know what I'm saying, 5 times a week. Hey,
that's
you know
still
what I'm
pretty
saying?
good.
But you gotta find sexy time, and
You gotta
yes,
do it.
that outgrown. That's
I don't
not gonna
like
work.
that word though.
Take that word out of the equation. Put sex on the plate along with all of the other things that are goals to you: finances, a house, a car, traveling. All those things that are on the plate, sex needs to be on that plate. When we traveling and we get to our destination, we having sex. Forget it. Just what is your moral? I'm done.
Yeah. So thank you so much for everybody for
what is your moral?
No, that was it, babe. The moral of the story is the moral of the story. So we're gonna be done with that.
Done.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us again. This is LMC Talk. We're talking about love, marriage, and of course, everything can be discussed over a great cup of coffee. We have new merch that's coming out soon. So we redesigning our website.
Yes, we are.
lovemerchcoffee.com. So that's gonna be coming out soon.
But subscribe
and smash the notification button so you can know when we actually have another video. And thank you again for joining us.